All right, so this is the April 21st, 2021 meeting for the Woodlawn CIC, and I'd like to call the meeting to order. Ms. Yehad, would you call the roll, please?
Louis Kutcher,
Present.
Mary Hill,
Here.
Mike Donahue,
Here.
Kiana Trabue,
Here.
next Vice Mayor, and Mayor Pohl. He is sent an email to us all that he would not be present.
So, yep, he's excused from the meeting due to a prior commitment. I would like to, unless there's objection, reorder the agenda. We have a special guest. Ms. Paula Sherman, who is the new Woodlawn Parks and Recreation Director, I guess is the full title. And so we'd like to talk to her first and just have a kind of a discussion. So any objection to reordering the agenda with her at the beginning?
Not I. Nope.
Okay, no objections. We will do that. So, hello, Paula.
Hello.
Here's what I was thinking we would do is we can just each go around and briefly introduce ourselves and sort of, what is our role with CIC? What is our history with Woodlawn and those kinds of things. We'll tell you a little bit about the history of our current project, which is Harmony Park, and some of our past projects. And then we'd like to hear, what your goals are and how we can help them. So,
Okay.
So I'll start. I'm Trace Kutcher, and I probably should have gotten some dates. I've been on the Woodlawn CIC for probably 4 or 5 years now. I've been the chair of it for about 2 years. Things obviously got sort of disrupted a little over a year ago when we went into what I've been calling the WWP, the worldwide pandemic. And so that's sort of our membership and officers have sort of been in a holding pattern since then. But I've lived in Woodlawn since 2006. Very beginning, like January 1st, we moved in. We were moving over that weekend. So my wife and I live up the hill, up on Beach Lane, and we have 3 kids who've all moved out. So we're empty nesters up there, but they all lived there for a while with us as well. Previously, I have volunteered with Woodlawn in the Charter Review Committee a number of years ago. I think 2 charter reviews back, and with the CIC, and just sort of been an active in my neighborhood, engaged in the community. I think Woodlawn's a great place to live. We feel very fortunate to have found it. A lot of people say, hidden jewel, and that's a lot of people use that term. Oh, it's a hidden, but it is. Woodlawn's kind of tucked in. So, I mentioned my day job. I work for the University of Cincinnati, and I teach biology. So this is just sort of passion project, as they say. Mary, on the screen, you are to my left. I don't know
Okay.
what the screen is, but how about you tell us a little bit about your history and so forth?
Okay. My name is Mary Hill, and I've been living in the village of Woodlawn since they built a house here in 1973. And as Trey said, I truly do believe that Woodlawn is a diamond in the rough. And now that you're on board, Paula, you're one of the people that's going to continue to help us shine. And I'm sure of that. I was on council for 8 years. I got off council to run for mayor, which did not happen, but we've got Brian there and he's doing an excellent job. But I do intend to run for council again this year. So I was very involved with the recreation department because we have an organization, it's called Active Woodlawn Inc. And we did lots of projects. At the time, Rosemary Brown and I, through the community center, we did quite a few projects. We did some art shows up there. We did a I think it was a red dress around Halloween, not Halloween, but what is it? February 14th, Valentine's Day. We did a lot of things, but we were most active on the concerts in the park. We did the concerts in the park, and that's basically how we funded the Active Woodlawn Inc. And I hope that we'll be able to continue to do that. Also, I was online yesterday with a group that I am involved with, and we saw that there's some type of a singles, I think it's a meet singles or some kind of dating, something that's going to be going on this coming Saturday at the Recreation Center. But we couldn't find any more information about it. So I was wondering if we listed things out on the website, where I'm assuming that someone else is using our facility to do this. I'm not really sure. But I was just wondering if we listed things like that on our website, because these other people couldn't find any information on it. So basically that's about it. And I've been involved with the CIC since I got on council, and that was 9 years ago. And I've been the treasurer there for all 9 years, struggling with filing reports. And basically that's it. I just enjoy working with the community and the people in the community. And I'm glad to have you aboard.
Thank you.
Mike, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure, that'd be fine. Hello, Paula Sherman. My name's Mike Donahue. I'm a current member. I'll put my video on, sorry. Yeah, you can maybe see the snowflakes in the, no, maybe not my head. There's the snow in the background, right. I'm a current CIC member. I've been living and involved in Woodlawn for the last 33 years. I'm a former council member, active in the community, in the county, on a variety of different volunteer committees. And I'm looking forward to working with you, Paula. I have an ongoing interest in bike hike trails, We Thrive initiatives, and planning and development to try to move us all forward. Nice to meet you. I look forward to working with you.
Okay. Thank you.
And Tiana, that leaves you.
Paula and I actually know each other quite well, so she would already know anything that I would share. So, hey, Paula.
Hey, Tiana. Well, are you finished, Key? You got
Yes.
something to say?
No,
Okay.
I'm finished.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to the CIC meeting. I feel very honored, and I hope I can continue to be involved and come to meetings as well. I'd love to do that. I feel special. I'm not that special though, but I feel special. And I appreciate all the nice comments and accolades that you have shared and sent my way. So I appreciate in advance all your support, because in the process of rebuilding the rec center, or reopening the rec center, I'll say, reviving it, it's going to take all of us to do that. The CIC, the Active Woodlawn, it's going to take the council, and not just lay on the hands of or the shoulders of the rec center team, but we'll do the lead part. You guys come and support us. We'll do our very best to continue to make Woodlawn shine. One of my goals is re-engagement. That's what I'm focusing on right now, probably until January. it's re-engaging the community and getting the community to come out and support the rec center and all the activities that we have. I know, Mary, you spoke of the couples event. We don't have anything scheduled at our facility for that this weekend. I know you're talking about, what's his name? It's one of the councilman's sons. He did approach us and he wanted to do something like that. He just didn't have the insurance. It was just too big for COVID right now. So we declined that. We declined that back when I first got here. I declined that right away. So he did have
out there.
Yeah, he did have a flyer that he was, you know, he showed us when he came to do a presentation, and it would have been nice. And I told him like next year when COVID was over to do that. But when you have a singles event like that, that's just a lot of people. And there was no way. Our largest room, as you know, with the governor's mandate, we can only have 25% of capacity in each room. And with that, our largest space is the gym right now, and that could only serve, it normally says 400, but you know, that's 400 people standing shoulder to shoulder. So we're safe in there with 100 or less, and probably more leaning towards 75. We have no other larger space that we can use. Our auditorium can only hold 50, and that's with us making sure there's proper ventilation. So it sounded like it was going to be a great thing, but it just wasn't a good fit for us at the time. So I will make note of that, and I have his number and call him to ask him to take that down. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I do have a schedule of upcoming events that now that I have everyone's email link, I can send to you so that you can see some of the activities that we have coming up. We just did a soft spring, summer class demo on this past Saturday. We had, we're gonna do a cycling class for our cyclist guys. Her mom became ill, and so she could not do the class. So we had red bikes come out. So we had the newer version of red bikes, the motorized kind that you still have to pedal, but it gives you that extra oomph. And we had individuals riding the trails. So they were already scheduled to do the cycle classes, 3 30-minute increments. And so they were able to ride the trails, and so the unstationary was kind of appealing to people, especially those who didn't even know we had the trails available. So Mike, you know, to your comment about the trails and the parks, everyone this weekend thought they were just beautiful. So we had that. We had our personal trainer. We had line dancing. We had our 50-50 club. 50 plus club, I should say, was there as well. We had a youth basketball training, which was led by Kelsey Mitchell, WNBA player from Indiana. And we also had Jeremy Walker, who's a renowned personal trainer here in Cincinnati. So we wanted to reach out to all our constituents and community, just every age range, have something for them. And that's how I'd like to see when we're open, that we have opportunities to engage the entire family and not just one particular group of individuals. We'd love if mom brings her son to play for basketball, there's a class for her to take to as well. So we're working diligently trying to get that together. Like I said, my goal from now until January is community building, re-engaging the community to the rec center, letting people know that we're open slowly as we, absorb the governor's rules and regulations. We're looking forward to a great summer program. I'm excited about that because we have a lot of community participation as far as community members who have a specialty. We have a pastry chef who's going to teach the kids how to make cookies, but it's more of on a math side. So STEM will be incorporated. We're doing the Drop Everything and Read program. We talked to the 50 plus club about coming in and being reading monitors for our students. We've got the reading library van coming. So we have a drone program, which the fire department is leading along with the drone specialist who will be teaching the kids about drones and the bones parts. We're going to be learning about bones, and seeds we're going to be planting and gardening. So Mike, and we'll be needing you and Mary Wagner to come along and help us with some ideas with the kids with that. So I've got a lot of excitement about the potential for Woodlawn Rec. And as long as everyone will continue to support us and come out, and you can't come out unless I actually give you a calendar of upcoming events, and I'll send that to each of you. And if you have any suggestions or concerns, please feel free to contact me and come and see me. My doors are wide open. I love visitors, and I like ideas and I like programming. So I hope I've covered. Told you you have a better idea of what we're looking forward to in Woodlawn. And I know that the mayor was really surprised with the red bikes, and we're going to set a meeting with Red Bike to see. I know they're inner city, but it would be really nice if we had a red bike station that we could share. And
I think we lost her. Oh, you're breaking up a bit.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Chase?
Just you were breaking up a bit. We didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, I'm just looking forward to seeing all of you at the building as well.
Yeah. Quick question. Did you say the dates for the summer program?
June 7th through August the 6th.
Okay.
It's 9 weeks.
Excellent.
And Mary, did you say you were part of Active Woodlawn?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I want to contact.
I'm a total part of Active Woodlawn, but with Monica's help and everybody else in the community, we've always managed to do the programs and get things done. And we have a really nice Christmas program we normally put on, and the churches get involved, and we give out lots of bikes to kids in the community. And I could talk to you about that forever and ever. So
yeah, so I've got you, Mr. Kutcher, and Mike. I can't wait to meet with you personally. I have we have an art show that's going to start at Woodlawn, and then it's going to travel to the Art Museum and to the Freedom Center. So we'll be the first stop. And so it would be lovely to have Active Woodlawn to help co-sponsor that. There's no fee involved in that art exhibit, but just having you as advocates and supporting the event and getting people to come in. There'll be one night that the community can come in and jury the show. So it'll be community juried. And then the second night, the artists will come, and then they'll announce, I guess, the winners. And then the third night will just be open for anyone in the community who wants to come in and see the show. Then it'll leave and go to its next destination. So I'm excited about that as well.
When is that going to be?
That's the last weekend in May.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I won't be around for that. I'll be out of town, but
Oh, wow.
I like art.
so will
Okay,
I
well,
on
good.
the 27th. By the way, who are the artists? I mean, are they well-known artists? Are they local people or kids, or who are
They're not children. They're adults. The Romack Center, the Robert O'Neill Community Arts Center is going to, they're the managers of the show. They're during its show. So I'm sure it's more adults and probably a lot more local, but I'm not sure. But I think it's, it should be a very, very nice show. They just did a virtual show online exhibit, which went very well. So I'm excited about this one. This will be the first in person. So it's exciting times.
Good. Woodlawn need lots of activity and lots of exposure.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Well, let me dive into a little bit about sort of our current project that we're putting
Okay.
focus on. So the Community Improvement Corporation has potentially a very broad mandate to do things to help the community. Practically speaking, what we have done in the past has been a lot of helping the village with development activities by way of property transfer. For legal reasons, we make a very good entity to help with property transfer. We also have helped with supporting planning and supporting various planning efforts that the village has done. We were actively involved or in the Woodlawn Meadows housing complex, which went in on what is now Arnold Drive and wasn't even there, before it went in. But our current project is called Harmony Park, and it's a musical instrument park that we're still working on a master plan to figure out exactly where the instruments are going to be going, but somewhere in the vicinity of the corner of Woodlawn Boulevard and Mayview Forest Drive. Mike, can I kick to you and you give a little bit about the history and vision for Harmony Park?
Yeah, sure, Trey. Maybe just to back it up a little bit further, just to mention for everybody's benefit, CIC. CIC was established in 1981, to give you some sense of time, and it was organized in support of what we now know as Gruninger Way in the business developments down in the corner of Glendale Milford Road and Springfield Pike. Back in 2016, that same area was the focus of what we call bookends properties. The one end of the bookends butts up to where the Public Works Department is, and the other is at the end of the cul-de-sac in Gruninger Way, just to give you an idea. That was 1981. It got reactivated in 15. And that was exactly with what Trace was talking about, was to try to stir up some capital, some county focus, and some community attention. And we were successful with that in, as Trace said, Woodlawn Meadows. I think it's called Woodlawn Meadows. Yeah, Woodlawn Meadows was created. Arnold Drive. There's 43 single-family houses down there. We have learned over those years that when CIC is active, we're attracting attention to Woodlawn, and that's a good thing. Harmony Park has been in the works, if you will, since I think we kind of conceived that at CIC probably 4 years ago, and we're able to solicit money. I think Mary Hill can probably give you a better sense for all the money that we did solicit, but we have all the instruments in hand. And like Trey said, we're looking for a home and a parks plan that we can plug into so that there's some sense and planning with how parks and recreation, how you, Paula Sherman, are going to be so vital to make sure that we have things that you need connected.
May I interject? I wanted to also say that this park, we were kind of stagnated until we got council and the mayor to buy into maybe including it into a master plan park. And so I think that it's going to be a wonderful park for this community and a very, very good show place for our village.
Now, this is the part that Jerry has come up with some new plans for? So
Yes.
No, okay, all right.
Yes.
There are three. He engaged a design firm to put forth three proposals or I guess proposals, alternatives. Yeah. my understanding is that he's getting village input currently. We discussed them at our last meeting and gave input and prepared a document that says, hey, here's what we think of the difference. You've probably seen them. We liked the number 2 with the sort of the curved pathway for the instruments. But yeah.
Now, are you guys voting on that? Or is that something the community's going to vote on? Or how will the determination be made on which plan to actually implement?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not fully certain. My understanding was they were going to get, and maybe I'm misunderstanding the way they're going about it, but they were going to get community input on all of the plans and not necessarily choose one over the other, but take the input to then whoever does the actual design and puts together a proposal to put out for bids. So it may look a little different from any one of those based on input. You know, oh, a lot of people like this from this plan, people like this from the other plan, and you know, that was sort of how I was thinking it was going to happen. I don't know for sure, but ultimately something will be put together that will have to be approved by council, I guess, to be put out for bids, hopefully in stages. The CIC is not prepared to finance the whole thing. We originally embarked on fundraising to build the instruments, you know, an instrument park that would be called Harmony Park, and raised enough, we think, although, you know, we have to see final bids, we think enough to do that part of it. We have the instruments all paid off, which is like $32,000 worth or so.
Wow, nice
yeah.
fundraising.
Well, and we got roughly double that in the bank from grants and donations from foundations, individuals in Woodlawn. $20, you know, I think the smallest is maybe $20 from a GoFundMe campaign on up to $15,000 from Duke Energy. And hopefully we will put in for more grant funding for the whole thing. So.
Okay. Sounds exciting.
Being a park, it will probably fall under your purview eventually.
Yes, that would be great. I like the idea of the park. Having children and working with children for years, I've always liked all the parks to be in close proximity of each other. I I'm hoping that also there's a plan. I haven't looked at them all closely, that maybe that the Harmony Park is connected to the park that's already there. So that parents don't have to cross streets with kids, and kids don't have to try to shoot across the street trying to get to another park. Just kind of keep safety, or that we put some flashing lights if they have to cross from one park to another, that allows cars to slow down when they see the flashing lights, knowing that kids are crossing going to the other park.
Yeah.
So that would be my only 2 cents there.
That sounds like really valuable input to get to the mayor and to Jerry Thaman, the village manager, so that, they hear that perspective.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So kind of we'll wind down this portion and let you go, because I know you have other things to get to. What can the CIC do to support your goals and visions? I mean, you've talked a little bit about it, but is there anything in particular where we can dive in and help?
Well, I think I'd like to continue to, come to the meeting so I can learn more. And just once I learn more about your group, and it sounds like you guys have a very strong foundation there. You're a very strong group as far as fundraising. I'd like to look and see what the rec center may need and what are those needs outside of the community engagement piece. And then I would, share them with you as I move along. Right now, The only thing that I would say immediately, if you ask me today, I'd love to see you come into the facility and advocate for the use of the facility. There is a lot of cosmetic enhancements that need to be done with the facility, and I'm pushing to get those done. I need I have a wish list in my office. I put, I'd love to have this. I'd love to have a chandelier and a curtain. A curtain that would a curtain. That's like my top two things. Seriously, if I had a curtain that went across the stage in the auditorium, that would just change the level of use in that auditorium. And then if there was a chandelier in there, then
I thought you were joking, but that's a great idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
so
Well, I don't know what we can do about that, but it's good to know what,
in your community, like you have a ballroom like type feeling for rentals. And I think if you change, sometimes if you change the way something looks, you attract certain type of constituents, and you also have people treated differently. So, and that's a lot of has to do with myself and my staff. Our goal is to make sure once we get things where we want them to be cosmetically, that we manage it just like that. It's our home, it's our baby, we're responsible for it. So we want to keep the building, like my mom always says, front room ready. Anyone can walk in at any time, and it's perfect. Looks good. So that's the goal.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm very glad you say that.
Yes. I appreciate it. So I appreciate you guys. I'll send to you, make sure you get a calendar of events, and you can support by spreading the word and helping out in any way you can. Volunteers are always needed.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but before you can get away, Paul, I know there's a couple things. I love your ideas too, and ideas take money,
Yes.
generally speaking. And I'm sure you're learning what the battle of the budget is in the village of Woodlawn. So I want to impress upon you and the CIC and Kiana and the council members that we should be actively pursuing grant money. I know that in the near future, we're going to be seeing community development block grant monies, mini grants are going to be made available up to $40,000 for municipalities to planning for everything from, as you mentioned, public space enhancements, bike pedestrian trails, could be for business districts, a park plan, lots of different potential uses. I don't know if that was me clearing my throat or was it something I don't want to know about. I don't think I want to know about it. But that CDBG mini grant deadline for applications to be in is May 3rd. And I know I've circulated that information and those applications. So give that some consideration. Another thing, again, it's for you, Mr. Chairman. Are you receiving the We Thrive newsletter from Hamilton County?
Yes, I do receive that.
Okay, great. I think I just got it today. I noticed that there's a transit infrastructure fund grant. And that's a grant that could be used for sidewalks, crosswalks, bridge improvements on the pike, and safety actions. And that deadline is June 30th.
Mike, that sounds like something we could potentially be very involved in helping with.
I think
not?
Definitely.
I think in any and all of these, there could be a role for the village, for sure, a lead role to make application in a timely fashion for the community development block grants, one, and for this transit infrastructure fund grants. I think it'd be important. There's one more CDBG grant stream available, and it's for nonprofits who may well be located in the village that would be ideal, but for nonprofits in Hamilton County. And that money, it's a $50,000 minimum. And it would go towards nonprofits who are focused on prescriptions for people, for training and manpower development, for eviction prevention, legal activities, to help people with food access. It could be money to be used for foreclosure assistance, for small business development. It's a legal assistance. These are all monies, I'll just call them the COVID response monies that are out there. And these are competitive grant applications, and they need to be submitted, number one, in a timely manner and have thoughtfulness. So with that as and I'd be willing to work anywhere that I could in support of the grant writing or whatever it is. If I can help somebody doing that stuff, I would be happy to do it. But I just wanted to alert everybody that there's money out there. If you will, it's on the table. And if we can get ourselves organized to get something done, we may see some of that money again in Woodlawn. We've had, historically, we've had success with it. We've gotten county money to do a number of things. The pedestrian bridge that crosses the West Fork of the Mill Creek, the instruments that we talked about that are on, going to be in Harmony Park. The hike bike trail we've been aided with over the years. So
Safe walk to schools.
Yep, safe walking to school. So we know that there's ample opportunities. We just have to be able to have the wherewithal to make submissions in a timely manner.
I have, I like all those ideas. So Mike, if you could send me those, I'd like to look at them. When it comes to CDBG, I have to check with Tim. I'm not sure what the village is doing in regards to that. But I do have a friend in another community who did receive funding to help with foreclosures and to help with rent and that sort of thing. And so if that was something that the village, felt like they could handle, even the rec center could be a resource for that, for community individuals who needed to make sure that they were able to have funding for that. We have an organization I know of already that is doing that, and they already have the infrastructure on how to establish something like that. So that would be something I would be interested in looking into. I think when you have a community center, it's not just for your fitness and your health, and it's also, that's all part of it too, your well-being. If you're unstable in any way, whether your housing's unstable, your food's unstable, then your fitness and your health becomes unstable as well. So it would be a nice tie-in, also would be a nice growth spurt for the community center. So it's not just seen as a rental hall and basketball, but you can also go there when you have some social needs and some health issues. This is an opportunity for us to look at expanding and being a little bit more versatile and helping the community to grow as well and stay strong. So
Making it a true center of the community.
true center, absolutely.
That's
Great.
exciting. That's very exciting.
Great to hear you saying
Yeah.
that, Paula. That's
Yeah.
great.
And I would love to see Active Woodlawn get involved more with, the total overall needs of the people. in the
Right.
community.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be more than happy to help or do whatever, coordinate or whatever. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, if you send them to me, I'll take a look at them and I'll reach out to my resources to see, what's the probability. There's nothing beats a failure but a try. We can always apply. And
Sure.
if you don't get it, we would have never known whether we could get it or not. Then there's always another opportunity that can come up. So,
But I think what we haven't done in the past was make this a priority. In the past, we haven't had getting grants as a priority. I think it's, if something's out there, especially money, if money's free, we should be first in line asking for it.
Yes,
If it's
please.
free, it's for me, right?
The free it for me.
It's free, I'll take 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. All right.
That sounds
Well-
great, Mr. Chairman. I think it's, you've got the Transit Infrastructure Fund grant information in the We Thrive newsletter. I'll send you the other two CDGB grant stuff in email.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Kiana, do you have anything to tag in here before we move on? 'Cause I know you have to leave as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. And no, I don't have anything to tag on. I know that you had mentioned earlier that Jerry was working on trying to get some community input on the different plans for the park. And obviously he's not here to give an update on that, but I do know that that is accurate, that he was working on that. He had presented a couple of options to council and was working on getting some feedback from residents as well. And unfortunately, I don't have an update on that from him.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
do know that
that's all right.
that's something that he was working on. And then also just appreciate the support that I'm hearing for what's happening down at the Recreation Center and opportunities to connect and partner with CIC. So just wanted to say, let me know how I can best support those efforts, and I'd be happy to do so.
All right.
Hey, Kiana, Mike down to you. What are your thoughts about having the village apply for one of those mini grants, 40,000, to do the park plan?
I think that makes perfect sense. I think any opportunity we have to go after some grant dollars makes perfect sense. And I think that we should definitely go after that. I know we just recently completed a grant application from Lowe's. I think the grant award is up to $100,000. So we can certainly share that information with our finance director, who I believe was the one primarily working on that grant, and will be working on grant applications for us. But I think that makes perfect sense.
I'm glad to hear you say that. The deadline for the CDBG grant is coming up May 3rd. Applications have to be written. I think I should. You should have that stuff in your email too already.
Yes, I did see that in my email, and I can share that over with him.
Thank you.
With Tim, yeah, he can use probably a lot of the pieces that he used for the Lowe's grant for the caboose, and to use it for that, you know, or whatever we guys initially have for Harmony Park. He can. Tim is really, he's really good. So I'm thinking the turnaround may not be as scary as it sounds. So.
And I have some things already written up for the grants to be sent out for Harmony Park.
So, and they have Harmony, so they can just use those same pieces and apply it.
The more grants you apply for, the easier it becomes, because you have the information. Oh yeah, we know where that information is. We don't have to go dig up, you know, the tax exempt number, or who knows what they're asking for. You know, it's all here, and put it together. So, Paula, we will let you go.
Thank
we
you.
have a little business I want to try and get done before Kiana has to leave. But thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me, and I look forward to coming back again.
Welcome to Woodlawn.
Thank you for the welcome. I appreciate it. I feel at home. All right. Talk to you later. All right. Bye.
All right. In the spirit of moving along and having already reordered the agenda, I'd like to keep reordering as we go, because Mary, are we going to need? You sent around some stuff about our where we're keeping our money.
Okay, so do you want me?
Is there something we're going to need to vote on? Then we're going to need to do that before Kiana leaves.
Okay, well, do you want me to just jump in and give you everything I have? And
please do. Yeah, please do.
Okay, we had in the bank, our last bank statement, we had $64,712.67. We sent out the letters to the to our sponsors and what have you, and I had to spend $33 for stamps. So we have a total mail of, what is it, $64,679.67. So, with that being said, we can get, I sent out that email to everyone, at least Monica did. And if, assuming my decimal point's in the right place, on an annual basis, we can get $355.73 on our funds if we move them to GE. And we do not have to move them into a money market, which would tie up the money. We could move them into, I think the best one I saw here was their amplified high yield checking account. And it doesn't cost anything. We don't have to pay out anything. They pay us basically for the opportunity of having our funds there to use. And we're going to get about 0.5% on our money. So, which is wonderful. And to me, plus it would pay for that $33 we just paid for stamps. And we would get on a monthly basis of about $30 a month. So
well, that's good.
Yeah, well, so to me, it's a no-brainer, but you know, we have to decide, do we really want to do this? I wish we would have thought about it earlier if we do it. I mean, because we have been with the Fifth Third Bank and they have bled us out of over $800 because they wouldn't stop taking out that monthly fee for a service that we weren't even using. So I don't feel any, shall we say, loyalty to the Fifth Third Bank at all, not at all. So
agreed there.
Yeah.
All right. So what are the well, first, let's do this with parliamentary procedure. We will need a motion to move our financial accounts from Fifth Third to the GE Credit Union. When we get the motion and seconded, then we can officially discuss it.
Okay.
So is there a motion?
I make a motion that we move our account from the Fifth Third Bank to GE Credit Union. And can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so now we can discuss it. I think, Mary, you've laid out some really good points in favor of doing that. Can anyone think of drawbacks or things to be concerned about with making the move?
May I also jump in and say that before we actually make the move, let me go get some materials from GE to, so we'll know exactly what we're moving into. Basically what I've got now is a conversation, you know, but I would like to have it in writing to make sure that what I heard is exactly what we're moving into.
Absolutely.
So, I will, if we decide, I don't know, we would have to do the good, the better, and the best, but I would say, let me know and I can get information on where we want to go or where we are looking to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, we'll move along, or do you want to?
Well, let's talk about some drawbacks or challenges. You know, what would be the negatives of doing this?
Well, that's what I was saying. Until I can find out all of the details surrounding this amplified high yield checking account, which it's my understanding from the young lady I spoke to at the bank that there are no drawbacks. But that's what I'm saying. I need support for what I'm telling you because I only have word of mouth. But we can move it anytime we wanted to. It doesn't have to stay there for any particular period of time. But the best thing about it is, like, if we go with this instead of the CD, we can move it anytime without a penalty. And the penalty isn't on our initial deposit. It would be on that interest that we want to get. So we wouldn't lose anything either way. So we're not going to lose anything out of our initial deposit. It would be the earnings of our money. I didn't talk much about the money market account, a Thrive money market account. But let me get some actual paperwork that I can look over and send to everyone, highlight some of the things that I can see as an advantage or disadvantage, and then I can talk to you more intelligently about it.
Okay. So it sounds like we may not be ready to take a vote on this then after all.
Well, I mean, if we're not gonna, well, I think I want to find out if we're willing to move it, then I'll spend the effort of finding out all this information. Yeah. But if we're not going to move it, I'm not going to waste my time, going down there. So that's what I wanted to find out. Are we willing to move it if we are,
I would offer a suggestion, and I am willing, but why not amend the motion and add some kind of term about adding due diligence in order to gather the information needed to transfer the funds?
Okay, great.
And that gives you the direction you want. So I made that amended motion, whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
Due diligence to gather information regarding the transfer of funds.
I'm sorry. I don't think you need a motion for this.
No. Well, we do if we're going to transfer funds, we do. But in order to just get information,
like we do not. Point, though.
Right. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
So you
we
might
don't
want to
need
save the motion for when you're actually going to move the funds.
Right.
Oh, okay.
My suggestion.
Well, then we withdraw the motion, and then once you have this stuff together, Mary, bring it to us, and we'll take it.
Okay, once I get it together. Okay.
We can table the motion. We can table the motion until Mary comes back with more information.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
The next thing is we did file the Hinkle report. I filed the Hinkle report and it was on time. That was one of the things that Tim made a comment about. Believe it or not, the village has filed all of its reports on time. So we got
no wrinkle with the Hinkle, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
As I said prior, we did get all the letters in the mail. Monica stuffed them all, and I put stamps on all of them and put them in the mail. I need to file the 990 report. The 990 report is the federal report, not a state report, but an annual. Well, you're supposed to file it annually, but however, we didn't file it last year. The 990 report, I'll have to pull that up and file that for us. And I think it cost maybe about $59 to file it or something like that. But basically, that's about all I think I have to report on.
Okay. So, thank you very much.
I will go to the bank and get the GE and get some more information for us.
Yeah. Kiana, if you have to get out, we don't need a quorum anymore. So we appreciate your sticking in there.
Thank you guys. And thank you, Mary, for checking into the bank account for us.
Okay.
That'd be very helpful. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good evening.
Be well, Kiana.
All right. So let's just keep going. I think we can wind everything else up fairly quickly. So that's it on budget?
Yep, that's all I have.
Okay. Oh, shoot.
What?
We needed Kiana. Oh, well, we needed Kiana to approve the minutes from March 17th. Rats. All right. We'll just have to do that.
We don't.
Later.
Have 3 people?
We're not a quorum. We need 4 for a quorum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Darn it. Oh, well. Okay.
That's what happened when you go out of order.
Well, I was thinking we were going to have to vote on something, more important, which is are we going to move the money? And, the minutes can hold.
Now you only have 5 members, though.
Yeah. So, all right.
You would be okay, I guess.
You think we would have a quorum with 3?
Well,
you only have 5
members. So
at this point in time, that's all you have. So
I don't remember if the quorum is
we can put
of the current membership or of the available seats. Well,
let's just go ahead and put it on for next next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not, all right.
A question, should we be thinking about membership? When, maybe Monica, you have some idea when appointments to CIC will be made by the mayor? Have you any idea? Oh, wait a minute.
I thought you were already appointed. You decided to stay.
No,
But
no.
we need more.
So one more, it appears.
2 more, I believe. 2 members of council.
Okay.
'Cause we're supposed to have the mayor plus 3.
3 members of council and 3 community members, right?
Yep. I will send an email just to follow up.
Thank you. I'm going to follow up on that letter that we sent out for that Mary took care of to the Harmony Park donors, just saying thank you. And, we haven't gone away. We haven't left for Aruba with your money. We're still, we're still working. I got a phone
Get your
call.
letter?
I got my letter.
Oh,
I
okay.
got a phone call.
From
I
the
got a phone
booster?
call from somebody whose name I wrote down, but I don't, it's at home. And I want
Okay.
to say it was something, and she said she knew you.
Oh,
And I don't
okay.
remember the name, but she was like, I just wanted to make sure that I was still going to get my name on a brick. And I reassured her, and I said, yes, I said, that's, we're absolutely committed to that.
Yeah, I'm glad that
has not changed.
I'm glad we are staying in contact with those people. At least
Yes.
they know that we are true to our word and we are still working on it.
Yes. Yes.
And we haven't run a scout with the money.
Right. All right. So I think we're at old business, which would be an update on the Parks Master Plan. We don't have anyone to give the update, so that will just carry over until our next meeting. And do we have any other old business?
Not that I know of.
Do we have any other new business? Okay. The other business then, or the next order would be a meeting date for May. I was going to propose that we not have a May meeting because I don't know at this point in time what we would have to do. We may need to vote on if we're ready to move money. We would need to vote on that. I am not going to be around during May, so I would not be available. I might be able to zoom in to it, but I can't, I can't commit to that right this minute.
Are you going to be gone for the entire month of May?
And most of June. We
Oh
are
my
heading out
goodness.
with our trailer, and we're going to spend 7 weeks on the road.
Oh, sound like a Willie Nelson thing.
On the road again. Yes. Yes. We are going to hit, I think, at least a half a dozen national parks.
Good, good. I have
So-
friends that just bought a Winnebago and they both retired, decided to go ahead and retire this year, and that's all they're doing.
That's they're doing.
They're gonna
Yeah.
hit all, I think they said it's 53 of them.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
They're going to have a hard time getting to
And
Hawaii
Alaska.
with the Winnebago.
Alaska, you're right. Alaska and Hawaii.
Back to the next meeting date, people.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Time to
Thank
go
you.
home.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, technically we go to 6:30, but we do want to get out as soon as we can.
Yes, we do.
I don't see the need to have another meeting. What I will do is in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I will put out Monica, how much lead time do we need to set up the Zoom?
It's good to set it up a few weeks in advance, but we've been
Can we
doing
set-
last minute stuff.
Well-
So I would give at least 2 weeks.
All right. So how about alternatively, can we set it up and then if we have to cancel it, is that easier?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this. The 1, 2, 3. So the third Wednesday in May is the 19th. So let's set our meeting for May 19th. And then if nothing comes up, I'll send out a call for agenda items. And if there's nothing significant to deal with, we can cancel that. And we'll do that a week or two in advance so people have plenty of time. How does that sound?
I agree.
Sounds fine to me.
All right. Is there any other business that we need to do?
I move for adjournment.
Well, how about, can
Thank
we
you.
let's sing Trey's, that old Roy Rogers song, Happy Trails.
Monica said, quit pussyfooting around. She's got
This meeting could have been a
Steve,
half an hour.
it.
Can
See
you
y'all.
cut?
Thanks,
Can you
Monica.
cut?
See ya.
Okay,
Thank you,
bye-bye,
everybody.
Wait a
everyone.
minute, did we get a second? We get a motion?
Yeah,
We're here.
Okay,
you
thanks,
actually
Ms.
don't.
B.
Yeah, thanks.
Night.
We don't have to, but
Not for
that's how I
adjournment.
roll.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Thanks again, all.
okay, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hey, Mr. Kutcher,
Ma'am.
I don't know, I'm not sure if the meeting is over, but I want to tell you something.